Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Tinkering with Techtic. In this episode we're going to be going over the basics on building your very own motorized car. This is going to cover component selection as well as a simple code to turn the motors on and off. So without further ado, let's get right into it. First we're going to start by assembling the following schematic. We're going to connect a battery to two speed controllers and a voltage regulator in parallel. The speed controllers will have direct control of the motors, and the voltage regulator will provide an uninterrupted, constant 5-volt source to the Raspberry Pi. The kit I'm using came with a chassis and 4 motors. Prior to assembling the kit, be sure to pre-solder all of the leads onto each of your motors. Step 1 is to connect the 2 speed controllers to the 4 motors. One speed controller controls the front 2 motors, and the other controls the back 2 motors. Once we do that, we'll stick the battery in place. Now, we'll connect our ground from the battery connector to a switch, and we'll tie our 2 motor controllers together in parallel by the positive and negative leads. Now that our speed controllers are tied together, we'll add another length of wire so that we can also add the voltage regulator in parallel. And finally, we will connect the switch for the battery onto the white length, and we'll connect the red length to the red lead on the battery supply. Now we're going to connect our leads exclusively to the 4 pins shown here on the 2 motor drivers. Finally, to connect the voltage regulator to the Raspberry Pi, I made this custom micro USB to lead to plug into my voltage regulator. Okay, now that that beast of an assembly is done, we're going to connect the leads from the 2 motor controllers to the available GPIO pins on the Raspberry Pi. First, I connected the speed controllers from the front motors. The blue lead went to pin 3, the purple lead to pin 5, the white lead to pin 11, and the gray lead to pin 13. Then, I connected the rear motors with the red lead to pin 8, the brown lead to pin 12, the black lead to pin 16, and the white lead to pin 18. Finally, I added an additional capacitor on the input to the voltage regulator. the long lead of the capacitor goes in the positive and the short lead goes in the negative. For this code, we're just going to initialize each GPIO pin. Then we're going to define each pin for each direction of each motor. And then we're just going to cycle through each one to show that it works. In my next video, I'm going to be covering specific control of the car using a wireless device. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you like what you see, check out one of my other videos using the links on your screen. And if you would like to see more great content like this, make sure to like, subscribe, or even check out our Patreon in the link below.